This is delightful. I'm so glad we came here. Feel those vibrations at Camp Video Games. Oh, Lord. Welcome to Camp Video Games. This is Junior Counselor Sean, and they're right there. It's Junior Counselor Josh.
My, we have reached the sweltering peak of summer, haven't we?
It's hot here in Lord's Hyrule.
It's just me, your southern debutante camp counselor. That's the point of heat we've reached, because, Lord, we got to build ourselves a water park to cool off.
Folks, campers, countrymen, we're talking the Legend of Zelda animated series, episode 11, Fairies in the Spring. You're probably wondering, where's this weird energy coming from? Why are Sean and Josh just all over the place in terms of bad southern accents? Well, it's because it's too damn hot in Hyrule.
It's too damn hot.
Rent's too damn high, and the weather's too damn hot.
Woo.
So yeah, we got Fairies in the Spring. It's a Bob and Marcia Forward joint. We were talking about this a little earlier. Like the whole Forward family seems to be involved in this this production. And yeah, is Marcia? Is that his wife at this point? Because like we had a different Forward earlier.
Yeah,
in the doppelganger episode.
Yeah, that was co-written with his sister.
16 years old at the time,
yeah.
I believe.
And I think maybe loosely based on like a D&D campaign or something.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm gonna while you keep setting up this episode, I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's Marcia's deal.
Yeah.
Is that the wife? What's going on here?
Marcia. It's always about Marcia. I want to talk about an important issue to me, to Josh, and to everyone else here at Camp Video Games, and that is old-timey swimsuits. They need to make a comeback. I want to wear a striped onesie that is completely without any thirst. I just want like a gender-neutral, unflattering, covers my nipple bathing suit for men or women or anyone who doesn't want to show off their sweet, sweet curves. And so this episode starts off with, we've got some swimming pool action here. We got the king. He's in a little onesie. We got Link. He's in a little onesie.
I don't think we have Link in there yet.
Oh,
it's just the king and Zelda.
Yeah, right. But Zelda, she's also in a pretty flattering swimsuit.
Lord have mercy. Lord help us, these horny animators. Yeah, because as you started discussing the onesies, we'll see Link also wears a onesie, the 1920s style. But Zelda has a cutout for her cleavage.
The royal cleavage.
So it goes.
Yeah. Maybe Marcia insisted on that.
I hope not, because my research has shown that Marcia, from whom this script was adapted, was Bob and Eve Forward's mother.
What the fuck?
He enlisted his mom to help him do his homework.
That rules. I would never ask my mom to write a show for me.
That's like amazing.
Never.
That's so good.
She would somehow, like, if I asked my mom to write a TV episode, she would somehow work in baby photos of me.
What if we made it about what a handsome young man you are?
You're always so polite to the bus driver.
Mom, this is a show about demons who fuck.
We'll work out the kinks. Okay, so the king, he's drinking his royal lemonade. And he drains that bad boy. And so this is a little dynamic that I didn't realize. So he finishes his drink, a little slurp, and empty drink. He jangles the ice cubes in it. And he's like, Sprite, time for a refill. Sprite, as we've already learned, is the princess of the fairy folk. Yet she's a cupbearer for the king here. Like, that's some nonsense.
Actually, There's a similar minor spoiler for Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, I mean, I don't give a shit about spoilers for that.
There's a similar dynamic that one of the main characters, Jill. So you've Clive and Jill. It's like very Game of Thrones. They're like the Starks.
Yeah.
But you find out midway through the game that Jill was like a offering from another house.
Yeah, that's so Game of Thrones.
As like a peace token.
Yeah, and what is that, a ward, I think was what that role is?
I think they even call her like the ward of the house. I don't want to get into that game's poor coverage of slavery, but like, yeah,
but she's like an honored,
but she doesn't
slave.
Consider herself a slave. She's like, I was so happy to grow up in House Rossfield, and so like we learned the similar story of Sprite here.
Yeah. So if you have any, I know Josh, you're not a Game of Thrones fan, but any listeners out there, this is very similar to like Theon Greyjoy's plight in with House Stark, where his family was defeated by the Starks in battle, and to assure peace and loyalty to the victor, they take the eldest son of the royal family that was defeated, and he becomes like a cupbearer, or the squire for the royal family.
This is my problem with. I'm getting way too deep for this silly cartoon, but like this sort of story.
Josh, we've just dedicated like dozens of hours. So much time to this silly stuff. So,
but like,
indulge.
This like story where like royalists, monarchs are the good guys. It's so difficult to show them, like as good guys because of like weird stuff like that. It's like, we detest slavery, but here's my mid-tier slave.
Yes.
It's like it's okay.
It's okay. They're smiling about it. They have a nice bedroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sprite, she's on vacation. Apparently, she's not there.
That is a difference between her and a full slave. Yeah. I guess
she gets visitation rights. So we learn that there's a war on right now in Hyrule. Yeah. There is an active war against a talking magic pig who wants to steal their divine artifact that it gives you complete control over the entire I don't know what happens if Ganon gets the Triforce, but it's got to be bad if they're always trying to protect it, and that's their main priority. So
if they have another ward whose entire job is just to protect this thing. Now,
an entire workforce of eligible soldiers, they're wearing full armor. They're just building a water park.
A
massive water park.
Massive pools. Like 30-foot deep pools to catch people from slides.
Yeah.
Insane. There's no reason you need a pool that deep unless you're building like a like college competition tier diving well.
What's the deepest you've dived? Because you're a former child star.
Yeah, like when we swam in like 20 to 24 foot deep pools, you'd like, I'm gonna swim and touch the bottom.
Yeah, that's fun.
And actually, like I get a little like nervous in the water any more deep than like 12 feet. like big competition pools are often like 20 feet deep in some parts.
Starts to get a little dark down there.
This is like too big and open.
Yeah.
Can we rewind to the King's drink situation that line that I brought up during the comments?
Right. Go ahead.
So the King, why does he say the line? I forget. But he dumps his glass out, and it's kind of easy to miss, but it's a huge plot point. It's the foreshadowing of the entire episode. He says, fairies love water, and I thought in all of his creepy daddy-daughter thing that they play throughout the whole series, I heard him say, daddies love water. And like, once I thought he was also calling himself daddy, I was like, something's messed up going on here between the daddy play and the fact that Zelda is like so flirtatious with Link but never wants to be physical. I'm like, something is wrong in House Hyrule.
Oh my god.
Talk about your Game of Thrones stuff.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, incest. Where's the Queen of Hyrule? Whatever.
There's never been one. There's never been a queen.
Yeah, we've never seen a Queen of Hyrule. Like even in like Breath of the Wild, there's some mention made of Zelda's mother, but we've never seen any like likeness rendition. I assume she looks exactly like her daughter, but because like thinking like Zelda did not seem to inherit any like noticeable physical traits from the king, who's like a squat, sweet-faced man, and like Zelda's like svelte and long-legged and buxom, and it's you remind me of your mother, Zelda.
So anyway, these guys are building a pool.
With a fucking war on, they're putting all of their manpower toward building a water park because it's hot outside. There's enough people to just invade. They know where Ganon lives. Also, folks, this is a Ganon-free episode. So pardon if I am focusing on what I thought was the most imminent threat to the kingdom here.
So I wonder if Marsha Forward just didn't know what Ganon was.
I think we should write about a very nice swimming pool.
What about a nice day at a water park? Yeah. Remember when I took you and your
such
sister
a cute
Eve
baby
out to Noah's Ark in the Wisconsin Dells?
So you mentioned this before. Did they have like an actual like big boat in the middle of a pool that you can like climb on? And
no, I don't think there's anything religious about that place. It's just a sick water park.
We also have the Ark experience here in northern Kentucky. Grifters, those filthy Christians.
Yeah, those guys are bad news.
They charge like $60 for tickets because they know that most of the people that are going are going to be going ironically, but they're like, we'll take your heathen money, but like it's going to cost you a lot to make fun of us.
We also, I think while the guys are building it, either them or the king before mentions, we found a new source of water.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Hey, dude, like, let's build a water park. First thing you do when you get fresh water,
you exploit that natural resource and you completely like waste it and you put it to something completely frivolous, right? That's
don't
what
figure
you
out a way to like preserve it in case of emergency.
No.
Just waste it on slides and 30-foot deep pools.
Yeah, be sure. Oh, we found a magical chlorine stream as well. Man, coming in hot. Well, if you listen to the commentary for this episode, we are coming in real hot.
Yeah, we've cooled off.
Yeah, this is more family friendly here. So back to this very important mission, which is to build the King's Water Park. It's under construction. They found a spring of some sort of unlimited water, apparently. Enough to fill these extremely huge pools. It's like a Roman aqueduct made only for leisure.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely fuck with this water park.
Absolutely, yeah. I love water slides.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you see that footage of the broken roller coaster? Like it's just like everything's dangerous. And then there was another one of the people got stuck upside down.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes.
But these people were stuck upside down for 2 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I think I'm done with roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to have fun anymore.
But I think the last time I rode a roller coaster I was like 23. Okay. And the first one I went on gave me a headache the rest of the day. I was like, I don't think I need to do these anymore.
So back at the construction site for this very important project, some geysers start to shoot out, and the water turns into big shape-shifting water monsters.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty Zelda-like, water monsters forming out of water.
Yeah, it's cool.
We've been there. We've done that. We've been to plenty of water temples.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just trying to think of like the final boss in Ocarina of Time's water temple. Water temple. It's that like shape-shifting water thing with that like, what is that thing? That thing's goofy.
I'm having a complete memory blank.
So you defeat Dark Link.
Yeah. And
then you go into the final boss chamber, and there's like pillars surrounded by water. Like think the pillars in Water Blight Ganon, right? Like when you're fighting Water Blight Ganon, there's like those little pillars that you can stand on among like in the pools. But then there's like this little ball. It's like an oyster shell, or like I forget what it was. It was like a little amoeba or something.
Like an amoeba barnacle type thing.
Yeah, exactly, a barnacle, and it would like water would like attack you from that. These construction workers, they're getting
quite literally hosed.
They're getting
by water.
Yeah,
water demons.
So back at the royal chamber. The throne room, there's a construction worker describing what happened, and Link comes swinging in.
And the construction worker is still dripping wet.
Oh, he's
the wettest boy.
He's sopping. But like, I think Zelda says something to the degree of like, "Where is our hero when we need him?" And Link comes swinging in. He's like, "He's right here, bitch!"
Like a true king.
Yeah. And yeah, so they find out that there's some water monsters afoot, and Link and Zelda go to investigate. I don't know why Zelda feels the need to go, but she's a woman of action.
Yeah, I think she's just bored most of the time.
Yeah. She's like, I need to get out of this swimsuit. Like, I think she'd already changed by that point anyway. Let's see. There's a little back and forth between Link and Zelda, where Zelda keeps like screaming, and Link's like, "What?" And like he stepped on a flower, and she's freaking out. Important stuff, man. You know, like,
yeah, this is a real time killer of a scene right here. Like, oh, let's set up this girl who cried wolf type thing.
Yeah, thank you. That's perfect.
Which is very funny. I just visited the Smoky Mountains a week and a half ago, and I have two 7-year-old-ish nephews, and they were like playing outside in the yard, and they're just mischievous 6 and 7-year-olds, and they just come bolting up to the back door, and it's locked, and they're like pounding on it, like, let us in, and one of them's holding his little stuffed bear, and they're like, we saw a bear, oh my god, and like they're just losing their minds, and we're all just like waiting to be like, which one of us is gonna call them out for lying first?
That's like serious though.
We let them in, and we close the door. And like, as we're all sort of like looking around, like, okay, who's gonna call him out? This black bear comes bumbling up. Like
trust
later,
kids, man.
And is like banging on our door.
Holy shit, dude! I can't believe that.
It was hilarious.
Hey, it wouldn't be so funny if those kids got turned into bear food.
Yeah,
would it?
So that was my own little experience with the boy who cried wolf story. But yeah, there's like not really any payoff or significance to this other than immediately to just use it to make Link not believe that she sees this water sludge cum monster behind him.
This thing it's the cool looking water dragon.
That's just a sludge boy.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
yeah. It looks like one of those like desert sludge monsters from Link to the Past.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Or like the Pokemon Muck.
Yeah, it looks like Muck.
Link zaps it. They get drenched. I forget which one of them says this, but they say, "What in Hyrule is going on?" I think Zelda says that. What in Hyrule is going on here? It just does not roll off the tongue as well. But they both confirm. They say this is not one of Ganon's monsters. Mm-hmm. Like, we apparently have a full dossier on his his bestiary.
Yeah, and I think that was the point where I was like, are they gonna do a Ganon-less episode? As I was watching it, it felt like in a modern TV series when one of the stars like gets pregnant and goes on maternity leave,
or gets like convicted of some serious crimes, like House of Cards, maybe.
Yeah, there will be like first a series of episodes where they're trying not to show them from like chest down.
Yeah.
And then they'll just be out for a few episodes. It was like, was Ganon on paternity leave? Did Ganon have a baby?
Oh, I wish. Oh my God. Like, thinking about like Muppet Babies, except like with Ganon and Link, like Hyrule babies.
Or the nanny has a baby and goes on maternity leave, and they go buck wild.
I'm just thinking about those socks, man. I love those striped socks that the nanny
Somebody
wore.
got a sock and foot fetish from that show.
Absolutely. I got a pig fetish from that. I thought Miss Piggy was all that.
Specifically from Muppet Babies.
No. I mean, wait. I've just entrapped myself. What in the Hyrule's going on here? So Zelda and Link, they're standing in one of the aqueducts, and they get flash flooded. Oh geez, another nightmare for me. This is Zelda gets ensnared by a water snake, and it like pulls her under, and that's a nightmare. Snakes already kind of spooky. Water snakes, I'm out of my element, and they're fast, and I'm gonna drown. Man, nightmare material.
Yeah, I kind of came around on snakes in a house that I lived in. We just had so many that like they just get in the house.
Yeah. every time I see a snake up close, I'm always like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at it. But like the idea of snakes, of just like right. It's like crawling up your leg, and it's like.
And so Link is able to he's able to zap it, but it like zaps him back somehow.
I think like some like, is it like green electricity like hits him? He gets zapped, and Zelda, she pulls out magic crossbow and saves Link. We get hit with a giant crab. It's not Goma. It is just a normal looking crab monster that's, giant.
There's two big crab monsters. And,
right, two
And
of
the
them.
funny thing is, they're each being held by a crab claw of a separate crab, and like you look at those crab claws and you think like that would be like slicing through their midsection.
Absolutely.
But
It
they're
would
just
have
kind
to
of
be
like,
so delicate
I'm just a
not to
little
kill
bit
them.
stuck.
Help! I'm getting my spine severed by a bone.
Yeah, they're both just like,
claws.
I'm too stuck to shoot the crab I'm stuck to. So you shoot my crab and I'll shoot your crab.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, so then they both zap the other's crab. So at this point, I would describe it as the king bumbles his way into an active combat zone. And he does not like believe Zelda. She's like, Daddy, get away from the water. Like, it's dangerous. And he's like, daddies love water,
Daddies.
But,
Anywho.
and he gets scooped up by a big old octopus. Link, he
Hold on.
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on. The scene where he gets scooped up by an octopus. I don't know a ton about, analog production of animation, but I'm pretty sure you're like sliding in the cells and you sort of are like photographing them against the background, and they like did it wrong. It's like off.
Oh, like the border.
Like
Yeah,
you can see the
holy
border.
shit. Holy shit.
And it's just that scene, and then it goes back.
Oh,
It's just that shot.
They did a really bad job there.
Yeah.
That's probably Marsha's
It's like
fault.
the animation equivalent of like the boom mic being dropped.
Yeah,
in the
good
frame.
call. Yeah, that's a good reference. Yeah, or if you're a photographer and like you appear in a mirrored image at some point, like there's all these tricks you can do to hide it. I used to be a product photographer, and I would take photos of like, old junk really, but if there was ever like, you would get like docked for like showing up in the photos. And it's just a mark of amateurish workmanship. Not me. I'm a pro. But yeah. So the octopus scoops the king. Link jumps in to save the king, and he can't find him. So they just go back to building the water park, right? They're like, well, I guess I'm the queen now. That's how it works, right? Like if the king dies, then Zelda's just the queen.
I would assume so, since there's no queen in the
Right.
picture.
She's the heir apparent.
and there's no other sibling heir of any sort that I see. This is also a good point to note. Like for some reason, at certain angles, like they felt the need to animate the water as if they're in like class 5 rapids.
Oh, right,
And these
yeah.
just standing pools of water. These just mosquito breeding grounds that they've built in Hyrule.
Oh man. I mean, it's more visually interesting
I guess.
to see running
yeah.
water. Link and Zelda, they go back. They're gonna consult the Triforce of Wisdom, which I love it. Like I forget the specific rhyme the Triforce spits, but it's basically she's like, "You need to go look underwater." It's like, thanks, we did, but
Yeah.
we'll do that some more, I guess.
Like some lazy rhyme about like the
When Daddy cannot be found, look in water. Daddies love water.
it's just it's just like go look in the water where it disappeared, you idiot.
Yeah, dude, like they just looked for a little bit. They're like, can't find him. Guess that's it. Like, where it's like, he's drowning right now. Like, you gotta stick around for a little bit.
You have an active drowning situation. You
also have a full army of people that can help you.
Like, let's just go get a riddle from our orb.
God, they're just really mismanaging all their resources. Zelda takes the Triforce of Wisdom. She brings it along like it's a little balloon, just like floating on a chain. It's weird though. Okay, I know that like she's just holding on to the Triforce like to like take advantage of the magic that she can use while wielding it, right? Because like I think Zelda can already do magic. Like we've seen her like use magic to do her hair before, and I don't remember if we've seen other instances, but there's the time where she builds like a stairway out of Triforce magic when they were like raiding Ganon's lair at one point, and so she can do certain spells while holding the Triforce. In this case, she creates some like magical breathing helmets. They look like bubbles on top of their heads. And yeah, so Zelda and Link now they can like, they got the blue tunic basically.
Man, this pool's deep. This pool's so big.
It's so
deep.
And think of all the masonry needed to do that too.
I know,
like
just obscene waste of resources. I can't get over it.
It's hard, man. It's like this with every royal family. Like every time you're just gonna see the opulence and waste of these like inbred like narcissists.
Because like the next minute is them swimming down to a grate, and it just looks like they are in just unfathomable depths of this masonry that was built. Like just look at this. I'm showing Sean a frame where the part where they're pulling the grate to swim through. They have to be at least 5 to 6 feet tall. So that's like
like it's 10, wild.
15,
right?
Like
if you put it in scale,
near.
they're probably like 60 feet underwater.
It's absurd. But I understand from an animation standpoint, it's easier just to draw that wall than be like, well, it'd be absurd to have a 30-foot deep pool. So
cool waters run deep, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
what is it? The deeper the water, the cooler the stream.
I don't know. We're gonna get canceled for that accent, though.
Rasta. No, it's okay. I listen to reggae,
bro. It's okay. What was Chet? Everybody was trying to cancel Chet Hanks for doing patois.
Oh my god, is that Tom Hanks' son? Yeah. But me daddy Woody the toy.
But he's like actually pretty good at it. And
that's awesome.
I don't know. I think he like had a Jamaican girlfriend for a long time, or something like that. Just let the white boy do his thing. It's fine. Who cares?
I wonder if Chet Hanks, like, if he's got like a favorite Tom Hanks movie.
I don't know, but I would actually absolutely party with that dude. I love Chet Hanks.
Does he have face tattoos too?
I don't know.
I know he's like tatted up, but him and Hunter Biden actually seem like they'd be a pretty chill
dream blunt rotation.
Or would it be more fun to smoke a blunt with Tom Hanks and Joe Biden? Like, let's kill some old guys with some chronic weed. Sensimilla.
So they're trying to get this grate open.
Yeah. So Zelda and Link, they're in the depths, and there's the big crate. Grate. That's like blocking their passage, and they're about to lift the grate, but then a giant spiky fish breaks through, and it grabs the Triforce as if it was like a fish hook.
Yeah, which is like, as soon as it happened, I'm like, why did she bring this thing with her? Why had she not thought of this ahead of time?
Yeah,
if the thing could just be bait for a fish that easily, and it's this important, what are you fucking around for?
I know. It belongs in a museum. So this fish, I don't know what I'm trying to what it's called, but there's like a prehistoric fish that you can fight in Half-Life. It's like big shark, not shark, but like it's like a gigantic piranha. Really, it's just like this. Like, I think is that an ichthyosaur? I don't remember, but it's spooky, man. Like anytime you got to fight water monsters in video games, it's all like my butt is just clenched during that type. Like, it's just like, ugh.
It's got horns. It just reminds you of like the spookiest fish at the deepest depths of the ocean,
like the lanternfish.
Yeah.
But Link says, "Time for a fish fry," which I mean, do they celebrate Lent in Hyrule?
Hylians, confirmed Catholics.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Hylia.
The Triforce. This is the whole thing. So, I don't know if I've talked about on this show that I when I was in Catholic school in 7th and 8th grade, we had this teacher. I forget her name. We called her God's wife because she had that energy. Like she had nun energy, but we weren't like that kind of Catholic school. And every Friday we had to take the same test again. That was literally one sheet of paper, and you had to draw a triangle, and you had to draw arrows to each part of the triangle. And on top, you had to put Father. On the bottom right, you had to put Son. On the left, you had to put Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit or whatever, and draw triangles to show that you understand that they are all equal and the same, but they're different, and you can never understand that mystery. And then you had to write this. I forget the language. It's kind of like IXOYE, and it means like Son of God, Savior. It was just this rote thing you had to do every Friday, and we got graded for it. It was insane. And she'd give us the same worksheet every Friday. You just had to fill it out the same. And it was worth, 25 points or whatever. It's like the indoctrination level. And like, remember sort of like Islamophobia over like madrasas and stuff?
I don't know what madrasa is.
like in
Doctrine being like,
it's just like I believe just like an Islamic school similar to Catholic school. Like Obama went to one for a while, I think.
Oh, Barack Hussein Obama.
And it's just like, look at what we're doing. But I don't know why that came to mind. I guess because the triangle Triforce thing, we were making the joke, but it's just so absurd.
That's wild. That's a huge waste of paper, too.
Oh, absolutely. And we would get in these. Me and my friend would get in arguments with her all the time, where like she was like, the most important thing is that you can never understand. This is the mystery you have to have faith in. Is that it's 3 persons and 1 God? I'm like, you just told me it's God. God can be 3 people. I get it. It's fine.
No, you don't get it.
Yeah, like that would be the argument. It's insane. Anyway.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that is absolutely wild. No, I don't. You did not mention that before. That is because I'm disgusted right now.
I got that class and accounting in college are the only C's I ever got in school.
Oh, you're a good student.
Yeah. I was really good. Straight A's through high school, a couple B's in college, and then that C in religion in 8th grade.
God, I am a horrible student. Like I was the kind of student where like certain teachers loved me. Most of the teachers were not that fond of me, and the only classes I got really good grades in were English class. Any class where I could bullshit and write an essay. Did great at those, but science not so good. Math not so good. History I was okay.
Well, I used my resources because I was lazy at like sciences and had bad teachers.
Yeah.
So the same friend I'd get in arguments with the teacher in religion class. By the time we got to like high school physics, I was just copying off him because he was a supercomputer genius.
So in
that's called using your resources, kids.
In Catholic Catholic science class though, would they just be like, "This is a monkey. It's only a monkey."
I don't know. We switched to the public school.
Oh, okay.
After that nightmare, they were like, our parents were like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you out of this."
That's good. All due respect to our Catholic listeners. Okay. So Link zaps this ichthyosaur or whatever it is, and then it's smooching time.
God, he's such a moron.
But Link says smooch, and Zelda's like yes, and then like bonk.
This is where it's like, okay, she is teasing with her power and her asexuality on purpose.
Yeah. So what happens is that their breathing helmets bonk each other and they can't kiss. And Zelda knew it. That was like, that's why she was like, yeah, I'll kiss you. Haha, you idiot. You love me, you idiot. Like, what's the game here, Zelda?
Yeah, like what is end game? Is it just for you to just like have this man under your boot?
Yeah, I think so. Like, what's the end game for royal families in general? Like, just to stay in power.
Yeah.
She just needs to have the upper hand over Link at every opportunity. Yeah, so their helmets prohibited that smooch. And it's just a shame, like, that Link... Well, also, Link is not really that dedicated to Zelda, as we've seen in previous episodes. Like, some other babe comes along, and he's just like, what's up? Like, it's... I think we said this at the commentary.
He leads with his sword.
They're both equally toxic, codependent.
Right. No one's clean. We've mentioned that.
Yeah. And Link and Zelda, they emerge from the water to like a wooded pond, like out in the wilderness. And then they're taking sniper fire. Like there's shots coming from the trees, and they don't know who's at the other end of that zap that they're getting shot at. Mm-hmm. And it's a fairy. Like we find out that. Well, okay, so what happens? Right, the construction crew, they should be soldiers. We're at war. There's a pig on the loose. But the construction...
A goddamn greased up pig is on the loose.
The water park, that spring they found, that underground spring, it's the Fairies spring.
And those sniper zaps are summoning these water monsters.
Right.
Is what they find out before they pluck a fairy and realize where they are.
So let's walk through how Link and Zelda like come to this realization. Like, okay, they capture a little fairy. It's just like fairies just like dress in like little cute little outfits, and like we haven't seen Sprite yet, but. She's, the same size as Sprite, like a cup of coffee. So the fairies were simply protecting their water source.
Yeah. And when Zelda pulls the fairy, she's immediately like, oh, you're Sprite's sister.
We're not all related, Zelda, okay? Like, it's a wild, like, assumption. Yeah. We don't all know each other.
We don't all know each other. We don't all look alike.
Yeah, but the fairies, they basically like, they're like, our spring is draining. We're just gonna send out some monsters to like clear up the problem, which is Hyrule. Like they inadvertently declared war on Hyrule over water rights. Like this is like the plight of the indigenous people of like North America all over again. Yeah. Where like you've got these like peaceful, like non-aggressive like tribes that just want to live on their land, and then this like
these goddamn colonizers come along, and they're just like, let's just waste it on a water slide.
We should share this water.
We should share the water with me. And you get none.
Yeah. And we're gonna pollute and like completely decimate your natural like resources, and
but we're gonna make like second graders do a cute play to celebrate how we shared the water every year.
I don't think we're talking about fairies anymore here. But yeah. I wanted this to be a grand conspiracy. I wanted to believe that Sprite was a sleeper agent all along, and that like she was going to Manchurian candidate like the king at some point.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a big misunderstanding. They find the king. He didn't drown. He didn't get like smashed to bits or eaten by a big octopus or sludge monster. He's talking with the king of the fairies, whose name is Oberon,
which is the king of the fairies from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh,
that's why we were.
I'm glad you looked that up. Thank you. I don't read those fancy stories.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that play enough times. I should know, but I'm not like some Shakespearean study.
Yeah. I played. Oh God, what character was I? I was in a Shakespearean. I was in Romeo and Juliet in high school. I don't remember. I was Samson. He was. I bite my thumb at thee.
Nice.
Yeah. I bit my thumb at Tybalt or Mercutio.
I hope you really chewed the scenery on that.
Dude, I had so much fun with that. We actually got a mid-scene like standing ovation because I did this part. Very short aside. We were the comic relief for this show for sure. Like, because I was just like. I was very comfortable making an ass of myself on stage. Shocker, I'm a podcaster now. So very, very, like, I have no shame. And my friend and I, without the director of the show knowing it, we choreographed a nut-kicking scene in the middle of a sword duel, and it brought the house down. You just got to be careful. If you're gonna do a stage combat nut kick, you just kick them right in the meat of their thigh, and if you're at the right angle, it looks like I just like knocked his dick off. It was a great. That was probably the best day of my life. All downhill from there. And yeah, why did I start talking about that? Oberon, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we meet the Fairy King. It's just a big misunderstanding, and we're super chill, and we're not going to retaliate for your attacks on my people.
Just like America.
Yeah. Like
this was just a big misunderstanding. You were on the land we needed, and we had to move you.
This episode
through
was written
violence
by Henry
and murder.
Kissinger. Yeah, Henry Kissinger's pen name is Bob Forward. So yeah, Mulligan. But Zelda, she's like, oh my God, are we not going to get to build the water park?
That's her number one.
She's like, oh no. And the King's like, no. We have they have magic pumps that they're going to get their water.
Yeah.
It's all good.
This is literally white supremacy indoctrination in media. It's just like there's just endless resources, so it's okay that we have everything. Don't think about it, children.
I learned a kind of like distressing detail about the Amish because I live out in Amish country at this point, and I don't have like that much research behind it, but basically like the Amish like perspective on like their place in the world is that like God made Earth for humans to use and enjoy, and apparently Amish are like, and I know we don't have any Amish listeners, but I was like, I don't want to burn the bridge with the Amish demographic, but good luck accessing a podcast. But they're not super chill with animals. It seems they tend to like exploit animals, and puppy mills might be a problem with the Amish.
Interesting.
It's just because they're like, nope, these are here for us, and that's the only reason they're here. And it's just kind of distressing is the word I would use to describe. Anyway, thanks for listening to our very lighthearted Zelda podcast. Wait. Big detail. Sprite, she shows up. Her vacation's over, and Zelda and Link, they're about to smooch in the water in their swimsuits, and Sprite smooch blocks them.
Yeah. Before that, we need to know Link's striped 1920s onesie with his classic Korok hat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's got the hat and the swimsuit.
They didn't bother to match them. Red striped suit, green hat still.
That's fine. It'd be weird if he had like a...
And it doesn't come off when he goes down the slide.
Ooh la la. Yeah, this is a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very weird. The absence of Ganon is strongly felt.
Yeah, I really miss my pig boy.
It's bizarre in a lot of ways. But very lot of horny Zelda in a bathing suit. So fair trade, I guess.
Well, campers, we have managed to get off topic at every plot point, and I don't know, might have just declared cultural war on a few like very important, like huge groups of people, but that's fine.
I mean, just mostly the Amish and monarchs. And
Amish,
monarchs,
Catholics,
we've been on this
the
whole time.
monarchs. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, our list of allies grows thinner and thinner here at Camp Video Games. But keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Got nothing.
That's it. That's the episode. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tell all your friends about this show, especially your Amish friends, and especially your Catholic, and especially if you're friends with any monarchy. Send them a link.
Yeah, get Prince Harry and Meghan listening. We should get them as guests.
Oh yeah,
I think we'd align.
I've got them booked already.
Cool. I think we'd politically align a lot on some things.
I love tea and crumpets. Thanks for listening, everybody. This was a good one.
All-time banger.
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.